The true battle isn't fought on the physical field. It happens in your mind. Before conquering anything in the external world, you need to master what's within you. The man who conquers isn't the strongest physically. He's the one who thinks differently. The one who, while everyone else panics, sees solutions. The one who turns every obstacle into an opportunity. You want to win? Then start by adjusting your mindset. Because everything, absolutely everything, begins with how you think. The question is, how are you thinking right now? Are you focused on the difficulties? Or are you looking for strategies to overcome them? Because in the end, the difference between those who reach the top and those who stay on the ground isn't the size of their strength, but their ability to see beyond the problems. Are you ready to think like the man who conquers? A strong mindset is like steel. It doesn't come ready-made. It's forged. And like steel, it only strengthens when subjected to intense heat, crushing pressure, and relentless strikes. You're not born resilient. Resilience is built every time you face a problem, and instead of surrendering, choose to resist. Every time you fall and get back up. Every time, amidst chaos, you stay calm and keep going. It's in this painful and relentless process that true mental strength is born. Most people crumble at the first sign of difficulty. They give up, cry, and look for someone or something to blame. Why is this happening to me? They ask. But the man with a steel mindset asks a different question. What can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? He understands that every failure, every defeat is a disguised opportunity. He doesn't see problems. He sees lessons. And every lesson learned makes him stronger, more prepared for the next battle. Resilience doesn't mean the absence of pain. It means enduring the pain and pushing forward, even when everything inside you screams to stop. It means facing life's storms and using them as fuel. Because in the end, what defines you isn't what happens to you, but how you respond to it. The resilient man knows he can't control everything around him, but he can always control his reaction. And that's what makes him powerful. If you want to forge a steel mindset, you need to stop avoiding discomfort. Pain isn't your enemy. Failure isn't something to fear. Every blow life gives you is an opportunity to show what you're made of. It's a chance to toughen up, to grow, to transform. While others lament their misfortunes, you embrace them because you know they're necessary to shape you into the man you want to be. Do you think the great men you admire reached the top because life was kind to them? No. They faced losses, rejections, and devastating setbacks. But instead of giving up, they persisted. They turned every blow into motivation, every obstacle into a stepping stone. Because they understood that resilience isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, you'll never bear the weight of the journey. And let me warn you, resilience isn't something you practice occasionally. It must be cultivated daily. When you're tired, but still complete that workout. When you're discouraged, but still fulfill your responsibilities. When doubt and fear invade your mind, but you choose to act anyway. Each of these decisions strengthens your mindset. Every choice to move forward, even when it would be easier to quit, is shaping you. Resilience is your armor against failure. It's what allows you to keep going when everyone around you has already given up. And most importantly, it's what separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. The man with a weak mindset looks for excuses to justify his stagnation. He blames circumstances, bad luck, or others. But the man with a steel mindset makes no excuses. He takes full responsibility for his life and turns every challenge into a chance to improve. Now tell me, are you willing to forge that mindset? Are you prepared to face every blow as a test? Because without that mental strength, you'll be just another person who can't handle the weight of the journey. But with it, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of man who, even in the toughest moments, never stops moving forward. And in the end, it's these men who achieve what others only dream of. The question isn't whether you'll face challenges. You will. The question is, will you let them break you, or will you use them to grow stronger? The choice is yours. Forge your mindset, become resilient, and prove that nothing can stop you. Most men look at a problem and see an insurmountable wall. They freeze, complain, try to blame someone or something. They see the obstacle as the end of the line. But the man who thinks differently, he doesn't see a wall, he sees an opportunity. He sees the challenge as a chance to build a ladder, find a gap, or learn something new. It's this ability to see beyond the obvious that separates the great from the mediocre. Because while most are stuck on the problem, the man who thinks differently is already searching for the solution. This type of mindset isn't common. It requires training, discipline, and above all, the courage to see what others ignore. When chaos takes over and everyone panics, the man who thinks differently stays calm. He understands that the problem isn't the end, but the beginning of something greater. He doesn't waste energy complaining or lamenting. He analyzes, looks for alternatives, studies the situation, and finds hidden opportunities. Because for him, every obstacle is fertile ground for growth and evolution. Imagine you lose your job. For most people, that would be devastating. They'd spend days, weeks, or even months lamenting, feeling like victims of circumstance. But the man who thinks differently sees it as a chance to reassess his life, acquire new skills, and aim for something better. He turns what seems like a defeat into a springboard to the next level. This kind of thinking not only keeps him moving, but also puts him ahead. Now think of another example, a failed business. Most people would give up, concluding that entrepreneurship isn't for them. But the man who thinks differently examines what went wrong, learns from his mistakes, and comes back stronger. He understands that failure is a teacher, not an executioner. He turns every experience, no matter how tough, into a foundation to build something more solid. This is how the greats achieve what seems impossible. Not because they had fewer problems, but because they chose to see every difficulty as an opportunity to become stronger and more experienced. This mindset of seeing beyond is what keeps them moving forward, while others remain stuck. Thinking differently means going beyond the obvious. It's questioning what everyone else accepts as truth. It's stepping out of autopilot and asking, is there a better way to do this? While most follow the crowd, the man who thinks strategically chooses his own path. He's not concerned with pleasing others or fitting in. He's focused on results, on creating something others can't even imagine. You don't win by following trends or copying what everyone else is doing. You win by seeing what others don't. This takes courage because thinking differently often means facing criticism, doubting yourself, and confronting the doubts of others. But that's how you break out of mediocrity and join the ranks of those who truly make a difference. The man who thinks differently doesn't let chaos control him. When something goes wrong, he doesn't panic like the rest. He takes a deep breath, stays clear-headed, and acts strategically. He knows that losing his composure solves nothing. It only makes things worse. He acts calmly because he understands that the problem is temporary and that how he responds is what truly matters. This mental control puts him at an advantage over everyone else reacting emotionally. This ability to stay calm and find solutions makes him invaluable. While others waste time complaining, he's taking action. While others worry about what they can't control, he focuses on what's within his reach. And that's exactly what keeps him a step ahead. The secret to thinking differently is simple but powerful. Stop seeing problems as barriers and start seeing them as steps. Every problem is a chance to prove your strength, your intelligence, your adaptability. If you can train your mind to find the good in every difficult situation, you'll become unstoppable. Because the world is full of problems, and the man who can find opportunities within them will always have the upper hand. You want to win? Then start adjusting your mindset. Face every difficulty with curiosity, not fear. Ask yourself, how can this make me stronger? What can I learn from this? Thinking this way takes practice, but over time, it becomes your greatest advantage. And while everyone else remains trapped by their problems, you'll have already found a way to turn them into victory. The mindset you adopt today determines the man you'll be tomorrow. Are you willing to challenge the ordinary? To see opportunities where others see difficulties? Because that's the difference between those who reach the top and those who fall by the wayside. The world is full of problems, but only the great see them as the path to growth. Think differently. See beyond. Become the man who is always one step ahead. Now let me ask you, how are you thinking at this very moment? Are you limiting yourself with problems, letting fear take over, or are you seeing beyond? Because the man who conquers doesn't wait for things to get easier. He knows the journey will be full of challenges, but he prepares mentally for each one. He thinks like a strategist, like a winner. If you want to reach the top, you need to change your way of thinking now. Adjust your mindset to seek solutions, not excuses. To see every difficulty as an opportunity to grow. To be resilient in the face of failure and strategic in the face of chaos. Because in the end, the man who thinks differently is the man who wins. The game starts in the mind. Think like that man and become unstoppable.